If your spouse files a dissolution of marriage and you do not agree with their proposed property distribution or parenting plan, you can file a response, also known as an answer, to ask the court to consider your proposed parenting plan or property distribution. The first document you will complete is the response to petition for dissolution of marriage with parenting plan for minor children form. To complete this document, you will need to reference the other party's document that includes the word petition at the top of the first page. Please locate this document now. Now that you've located the other party's petition, you can begin to complete your response to their petition. On the top left of your response, fill in your name, mailing address, phone number, and email so the clerk of court and the other party have a way of contacting you. Since you are responding to the dissolution of marriage, you are the respondent. Next, determine what court you will file your documents with. Look at the documents that you were served with to find this information and write in the same judicial district and county of the court on your response. Below the court information, write in the names of the petitioner and the respondent. The other party is the petitioner. Because you are responding to the court case, write your name in the respondent line. Next, fill in the case number that is written on the other party's petition. Next, go through each of the numbered sections and select Admit if you agree that the information provided by the petitioner for that section is correct and leave the rest of the section blank. Or select Deny if you disagree with what the petitioner entered for that section and complete the rest of the section with the correct information. Remember, if you admit or agree with what the petitioner put down for that section, you do not need to complete the rest of the section. Agreeing with the section does not mean that you agree with their proposed property distribution or parenting plan. If the other party's petition does not include numbers or the numbers do not match up to your response form, you can still complete your response. Simply read through the other party's petition to locate the information you need to complete each section of your response. If the other party's petition does not include the information you need to complete the numbered section of your response, you can deny that the information is correct and write in the correct information. Now, follow along with the other party's petition and complete each numbered section. In Section 1, select whether or not you admit that this court is the right court to have jurisdiction of your divorce. In Section 2, select whether you admit the petitioner's information that they provided about themselves is correct. Only complete information about them, their name, mailing address, etc., if you do not agree with what the petitioner wrote in. In Section 3, select whether you admit the information that the petitioner provided about you is correct. Only complete information about yourself, your name, mailing address, etc., if you do not agree with what the petitioner wrote in. In Section 4, select whether or not the information that the petitioner provided about your marriage is correct. In Section 5, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about your separation is correct. In Section 6, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about pregnancy is correct. In Section 7, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about your minor children is correct. In Section 8, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about your minor children's residences is correct. In Section 9, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about the jurisdiction of your minor children is correct. In Section 10, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about other court cases is correct. In Section 11, select whether or not the information the petitioner provided about other people who have or claim physical custody or visitation rights to your minor children is correct. In Section 12, select whether or not the proposed parenting plan submitted by the petitioner is in the best interests of your minor child or children. If you do not agree that it is in the best interests of your minor child or children, complete your own proposed parenting plan using Form MP 300. In Section 13, select whether or not the petitioner provided you with a disclosure of their income and expenses. either within the petition or as a separate form. In Section 14, select whether or not you agree with the petitioner's proposed property distribution. If you do not agree with the petitioner's proposed property distribution, complete your own property distribution and/or provide the court with a prenuptial agreement. In Section 15, select whether you would like to have your previous name restored or keep your current name. In Section 16, select whether or not you agree with the petitioner's request for maintenance. Maintenance, also known as spousal support or alimony, is to provide help to a spouse who lacks the ability to support themselves. Indicate whether you do not wish to request maintenance, are requesting maintenance, or are requesting to pay maintenance. Provide the amount that you are asking for or are willing to pay each month, an expiration date for payments, and an indication of what day the payments must be made. In Section 17, please write in anything else you would like to include in the petition. At the end of the form, please write in the date, city, state, and sign this document. You have now completed your response to a petition for dissolution of marriage with minor children. Now you are ready to begin filling out your proposed parenting plan.